So today I wanted to share a message with you from Divine Mother. It's just something I've been meditating on and contemplating for the last 24 hours. And I sincerely asked, if I could share a message from you, what would it be? And I saw a big sign in my mind's eye, nothing has gone wrong. Nothing has gone wrong. And, people talk about raising your vibration. And there's so many ways to raise your vibration: being grateful, just commanding your consciousness to raise. It's really that easy to raise your frequency, to vibrate faster. Some people call it going up. But in a deeper way, one of the most potent ways to raise your vibration, to emanate a frequency of wholeness, is to contemplate the idea that nothing in your life has ever been an error. Nothing has gone wrong. If you are a student of deliberate creation, of mind mastery, of any of those things, and you've experienced intense challenges, none of that is in error. None of that is wrong. If you've experienced an illness, if you today have a really uncomfortable feeling in your solar plexus, that's all a movement of nature. It's all supposed to be. It's just your perception of it that determines the frequency. It's not that if you woke up today in pain or in a bad mood that you're in a low frequency. What puts you in a low frequency is judging it. What puts you in a high frequency is being one with it. Okay, I completely accept this. I completely accept this discomfort. I completely accept that when I invoke my divine self, which Divine Mother and her avatars like Mother Mary are examples of what's possible for us. And most people have no idea of the master that Mother Mary was, by the way. She did not accidentally get pregnant with a miracle. She knew forms of yoga that mastered her womb chakra, that she was able to conceive this divine child. She was able to bring him back into his body after the crucifixion by a form of yoga. We are all subconsciously, whether we know it or not, we are all calling that greatness to ourselves, or that greatness is calling us to it. And in the palm leaf scriptures, and according to Indian saints that really knew a lot about Mother Mary, she meditated on creation and mastered the elements and worked and worked and worked for millions of lifetimes. And let's talk about Jesus. Jesus didn't have an easy life. So I'm not saying we should be martyrs and we should expect to suffer at all. Not at all. However, when you are wanting to invoke your divinity, to that level, if you aspire to that, which I do aspire to that, you are going to meet everything within you that is not aligned with your immortality. Everything that in you that is your belief systems that are limited, your perceptions that you are separate from God, separate from nature. So one of the ways to really become one with nature is to really contemplate the idea you cannot but be in the right place in the right time. That awareness, right? Instead of trying to be happy or trying to be grateful, the awareness that you are in the perfect time and place, that everything you feel today, right now, is perfect, that whatever you are experiencing in your body, in your life, in your relationship is perfect. The cessation of judgment brings you to a state of oneness with nature. And that state of oneness, right, that brings you into a frequency where you cannot really but feel anything but, some people might call it joy, some people might call it freedom, lightness, liberation. And really, there's like nobody to feel liberated, because you just feel like you're an orgasmic part of this giant orchestra. And that is not joy that you have to manufacture. That's a real, and it's not something that is reserved for special people. It's something that you have access to right now. It's as simple as changing your perception of yourself, of what's going on in your life. It's that simple. If you're feeling lost, if you're feeling like you have no purpose, realize like that's perfect. Be lost. What does it feel like to have no purpose? Oh, it feels right. It feels like an emptiness in my heart. It feels okay. Perfect. Just feel it. Just feel it. The complete acceptance and at oneness with reality. And if you fall out of that, just reminding yourself, whenever your mind tries to tell you, tries to doubt, tries to criticize you, tries to blame someone, right, tries to separate you from the oneness of life, just gently remind yourself, no, this is perfect. This is perfect. That this person is behaving this way, and my life is perfect. And in my deep acceptance of it, I have access to the highest frequency. That action will flow through that frequency. I don't even have to think about what to do. I don't have to think. It's a choiceless choice. So that's the message from the Divine Feminine, from Mother. It's just stop assuming that anything has gone wrong. Stop looking at the phenomenal world and judging it. Stop looking at your own life and stop noticing. Stop taking score. Stop judging your life. Accept it all as your process, And because essentially you are both an unchanging stillness and process. Like, you are more in alignment with yourself if you are in the awareness of yourself as a process. And that, again, in that awareness and acceptance, you do not have to manufacture things like gratitude and joy, although I do recommend that. I do recommend that, taking time to write or speak out loud things that you're grateful for. Yeah, that's a good use of your mouth. Much better use than complaining or talking about your problems. Of course, unless you need to vent about your problems, which is totally valid. So, yeah, that's just what wanted to be shared today. If you're going through an uncertain time, if you're going through a transition, if your mind wants to tell you things like, oh, like I should be in a different place in life, or let's just remember one of my favorite lines from A Course in Miracles. I don't remember the exact line, but it's something like, only loving thoughts are true. Only loving thoughts are true. Anytime you have a doubt, anytime you have a critical thought about yourself or anything, it's a lie. And what can you do with a lie? You discard it. Discard it. Any thoughts, something has gone wrong, there's something wrong with me. Okay, that's fine to think that way, but it's not true. So nothing has gone wrong. You cannot but be in the right place at the right time. Your deep awareness of this brings you into the natural state of oneness with God, with nature. And all you have to do is be aware of how you get thrown out of that awareness and just gently bring yourself back. Gently and compassionately bring yourself back. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope you have a beautiful day.